Let's be honest. Most men walk around completely blind to the signals women are constantly sending. They assume silence means disinterest, a simple smile is nothing, or a touch is accidental. But the truth? Women are communicating on a level far deeper than words. And when she wants you, her mind and body betray her, even if her lips never admit it. It's subtle, almost imperceptible. But if you learn to notice, it changes everything. Because understanding this isn't about manipulation, it's about awareness, it's about reading the code of desire she's been sending from the very first moment you met. Imagine this. She laughs at your jokes a little longer than she should. Her gaze lingers on you for just a fraction more than normal. Her body shifts subtly when you enter the room. Most men dismiss this as coincidence. They shrug it off, thinking, she's just friendly. But the women who are drawn to you are wired to reveal it without realizing it themselves. It's primal, embedded in human psychology, and it's why so many men feel frustrated and confused. They're blind to the hidden signals, because the signals aren't loud. They're a whisper in the language of connection. Here's the thing, attraction is rarely straightforward. Women are taught socially and biologically to guard their desire. It's why she might flirt and then withdraw, smile and then avoid eye contact, text and then ghost. It's not inconsistency, it's subtle testing. She's watching, gauging, feeling out your confidence, your understanding, your emotional control. And when she pretends not to care, that's often the loudest signal she actually does. You see, most men focus only on what's spoken. They wait for words, for declarations, for obvious signs, but by then, the moment has passed. The signals have already been sent, evaluated, and either reciprocated or ignored. The men who master attraction don't wait. They watch, they read, they interpret, and they act with precision. That's why knowing the hidden language matters more than any pickup line or scripted advice. Let me give you a secret most men will never understand. Her body always tells the truth before her mouth does. A hand brushing against yours accidentally. She let it happen, eyes flicking down to your lips during conversation. She's imagining, projecting, feeling. Small touches on her own neck or hair when talking to you. That's subconscious flirting. These micro moments are tiny declarations of desire. Miss them, and you miss her interest entirely. Notice them, and you enter a space few men ever do, the space where she can no longer hide what she feels. And here's the real kicker. Women who seem hard to read are often sending the clearest signals. The harder she pretends not to want you, the stronger her unconscious attraction may be. It's an age-old paradox of female psychology. The mind says, I should protect myself, but the body says, I want him. Recognizing the difference between defense and disinterest is where most men fail. Most fall for the act and never see the truth hidden behind it. By the end of this video, you won't just guess her intentions, you'll know. You'll see the patterns, the micro signals, the hidden desires she's trying to hide, and more importantly, you'll understand how to respond in ways that ignite attraction, without desperation, without overthinking, without giving away your power. The first signal most men completely overlook is her eyes. I'm not talking about a casual glance. I'm talking about the way her eyes follow you, almost without her realizing it. You've seen it before. She looks away when you catch her staring, or quickly shifts her gaze, pretending she wasn't watching. That, my friend, is desire hiding behind social conditioning. Her eyes are speaking a language her mouth refuses to use. When a woman is attracted to you, her pupils dilate. It's subtle, it's subconscious, and it's completely involuntary. Her body betrays what she's trying to conceal. But here's the tricky part. Most men notice her face, her smile, even her laugh, but they don't notice the intensity behind the gaze, the way she's watching you when she thinks you're not looking, the tiny shifts in her head and shoulders as her attention locks in on yours. These aren't accidents. These are the first sparks of interest, and they happen before she even speaks. Now, some men think she just glanced at me. It doesn't mean anything. But attraction is never loud at first. It starts as a flicker, a micro moment that's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. And the fascinating part? The longer she maintains eye contact, even fleetingly, the more her mind is actively curating her reaction to you. She's assessing. Is he confident? Is he interesting? Does he notice me? Your ability to read this without reacting with desperation is the line between intrigue and being invisible. Another layer to this hidden signal is what psychologists call mirroring. Watch how she subtly mimics your posture, gestures, or tone when she's around you. It's subconscious, and it's her mind saying, I want to connect. Most men dismiss it as coincidence, but no, she's mirroring you because your presence stimulates her emotions, makes her feel aligned, and yes, makes her desire you, even if she pretends otherwise. And here's a secret many men will never understand. Women test attraction through these eye and body cues. She might glance, look away, smile nervously, then glance again. It's not inconsistency, it's the ancient dance of evaluating whether you recognize her interest, whether you have the confidence to respond without neediness. Miss the signal and she'll retreat, hiding the very thing she feels most. But catch it, and you open a door that few men even realize exists. The power of noticing this cannot be overstated. Your awareness communicates value without a word. It's magnetic. It's the difference between being just another guy in the room and being the man she cannot stop thinking about. Every flicker of her eyes, every subtle lean toward you, every mirrored gesture is a declaration she cannot put into words. And if you respond correctly, calmly, confidently, intentionally, you become the answer her subconscious has been craving. This is where most men fail. They see her signals, but don't understand the psychology behind them. They react with impatience, overtext, or nervousness. That's the exact opposite of what attraction demands. You need to see the eyes, read the micro moments, and respond in a way that acknowledges her interest without surrendering your power. When you master this, you start seeing patterns everywhere. Every glance, every subtle gesture, every slight shift in her energy suddenly tells a story. And that story, it's the story of her desire, hidden, unspoken, but undeniable. If you've ever wondered why she teases you, plays hard to get, or acts like she's indifferent, this is exactly what I'm about to explain. One of the clearest hidden signals a woman wants you, but pretends not to, is her playful distance. She pushes, she pulls, she tests boundaries, and most men completely misinterpret it. They think she's uninterested, when in reality, her behavior is a subconscious invitation. Here's the truth. Women are wired to evaluate men not just by what they say, but by how they respond under subtle tension. A woman who pretends not to care is testing emotional strength, patience, and confidence. When she jokes at your expense, teases you, or pulls away after a flirtatious interaction, she's observing how you handle it. Do you crumble, beg for reassurance, or chase her? Or do you stay grounded, self-assured, and slightly mysterious? The way you respond is a magnet, drawing her in or pushing her away. Notice how her actions contradict her words. She might act distant but maintain lingering touches when you're not looking. She may pretend to be busy or unavailable, yet finds subtle ways to intersect with your life. These contradictions are not mistakes. They are carefully orchestrated by her subconscious desire. She wants to see if you notice, if you care, if you can meet her on the level she's silently offering. Most men never notice because they focus on what she says instead of what she does. Another layer is how she engages with her social environment when you're present. A woman who likes you will subtly shift her behavior around you without overtly signaling it. She laughs more loudly when you're around. Her posture opens subtly toward you. She keeps glancing in your direction, even when talking to someone else. She's sending micro-signals, a constant undercurrent that she's interested. Men who fail to read these cues miss the chance entirely. They wait for explicit confirmation that never comes. And let's address the discomfort most men feel, the fear of rejection. It makes you misread these playful tests as disinterest. But here's the counterintuitive truth. The more she pulls, the stronger the hidden attraction. Her brain is wired to create tension before connection. This is why she might text inconsistently, ignore a message for a while, or act indifferent in front of friends. She's not disinterested. She's amplifying her desire by forcing you to demonstrate your value. When you start noticing these patterns, the dynamic changes completely. You no longer chase blindly or misinterpret signals. You see the tease, the playful distance, the subtle push and pull, and recognize it as exactly what it is, her desire wrapped in layers of social caution. You begin to respond with measured confidence, calm curiosity, and intentionality. And the more you do this, the more she will reveal her hidden self, because women naturally gravitate toward men who understand their psychology, who recognize the unspoken language of attraction. The key is awareness and timing. Recognizing the signal is only half the battle. The other half is responding correctly, not with desperation, not with frustration, but with quiet power. When you do, you unlock a world most men never access, the space where desire flows naturally, and she can no longer pretend she's indifferent. One of the most misunderstood signals is her subtle physical touch, not the obvious handhold or hug, but the tiny, almost accidental brushes that most men completely ignore. A woman who likes you will find ways to create contact, even if it's brief, indirect, or seemingly casual. It's her body speaking a language her mind claims it cannot, a language that most men fail to understand entirely. Think about it. A light touch on your arm while laughing, her hand grazing yours when reaching for something, or even leaning in closer when she could step back. These aren't coincidences, they're subconscious declarations. She's signaling comfort, connection, and yes, desire. But here's why men misread it. The moment is so brief, so delicate, that most guys either dismiss it as accidental or fail to reciprocate with equal subtlety. That's the difference between being remembered and being forgotten. Women don't give these touches lightly. A woman who doesn't like you won't find excuses to make contact, no matter how friendly she seems. But when she's interested, even pretending not to care, her body betrays her. And it's fascinating how her mind rationalizes it afterward. She might say, "Oh, it was nothing," or "I didn't mean to." But her nervous energy, her micro-expressions, and her lingering warmth tell the real story. Now let's layer this with psychology. Touch is the fastest way to create emotional connection. It triggers oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which heightens her subconscious attachment to you. When she touches you, accidentally or deliberately, she's testing how you respond. Do you recoil, react awkwardly, or meet her energy with calm confidence? Her hidden desire is revealed not just by the touch itself, but by your response. This is why the subtlety matters. Overreacting can destroy the signal, but reading it correctly amplifies attraction. Another reason men miss this signal is that it's often mixed with playful distance. She touches you lightly, then pulls away or acts indifferent. This push and pull is deliberate. It's her way of protecting herself while still signaling interest. Most men interpret it as confusion or disinterest. In reality, it's one of the clearest signs she wants you, because the body rarely lies. Words can deceive, smiles can mask intent, but touch is almost impossible to fake at a subconscious level. Here's what separates the men who succeed from those who fail: awareness and restraint. You don't need to chase, overanalyze, or force anything. You simply notice, absorb, and respond with calm intentionality. When she sees that you recognize her signals without losing composure, her attraction grows stronger. The tiniest physical gestures, the briefest touches, the micro moments where your worlds intersect, they are not trivial. They are the language of hidden desire, and they are your keys to unlocking her subconscious interest. If you learn to see and interpret these moments, you step into a space few men ever enter, a space where she can no longer pretend. Her body is drawn to you, her mind is intrigued, and her actions increasingly betray the very desire she claims she's hiding. Recognizing this, responding with subtle confidence, and never overplaying your hand, this is how attraction transforms from guesswork into certainty. One of the most overlooked and misunderstood signs is how she communicates when she's not around you. This is where the hidden signals are the clearest, yet most men completely miss them. A woman who wants you but pretends not to will often initiate indirect contact through texts, social media, or casual mentions in conversation, but never make it obvious. She's testing, observing, and gauging your interest without exposing herself. Notice the patterns. She likes your posts but doesn't comment, or she sends a message that seems casual but has layers of intent. Maybe she shares something she knows will grab your attention, or she texts at odd times, never fully revealing why. Most men see this and think, she's just being friendly, or she's inconsistent. But in reality, these are strategic micro-signals of desire. She's letting you know she's thinking of you without directly saying it, keeping the balance of power in her favor while still testing your perception. Here's the psychological truth behind this behavior. Women are conditioned to guard their desire until they feel confident in a man's value. They're experts at sending signals that create curiosity and emotional engagement. Every small digital interaction, every subtle mention of your name in a story or conversation, every playful tease in a text, these are breadcrumbs leading you toward understanding her hidden interest. The moment you recognize them, you step into a space few men ever reach, the space where her subconscious attraction becomes undeniable. Another layer to consider is her emotional tone. Pay attention to the subtle cues in her words, the slight warmth, the careful choice of emojis, the teasing undertone. These are all signals she wants to connect without being obvious. Women often hide their desire because revealing it outright makes them vulnerable. But vulnerability leaks everywhere, through language, timing, and tone. Most men fail to notice this because they focus only on content, not context. Reading the context correctly is what separates men who are invisible from men who become irresistible. Now let's address the push and pull. She may initiate contact, then disappear, only to return later. She may respond quickly at times, slowly at others. This is not inconsistency, it's a subconscious test. She's evaluating your patience, your confidence, and your ability to maintain attraction without overinvesting. Men who misread this withdraw, overthink, or chase. Men who understand it respond with calm intrigue, increasing the magnetic pull she feels toward them. Here's the subtle genius of this hidden signal. She's giving you permission to be present in her mind, to occupy her emotional space without admitting she wants you. If you miss it, you'll remain frustrated and confused, wondering why she pulls away. But if you notice, interpret, and respond correctly, you step into a psychological rhythm with her, one that most men never achieve. You stop guessing and start knowing. Recognizing this pattern isn't about manipulation, it's about awareness. You learn to see the invisible threads connecting her attention, words, and subtle actions. And once you can read these hidden signals, you stop reacting passively and start moving the dynamic in your favor, building anticipation, attraction, and connection on a level that's nearly impossible to fake. The ultimate hidden signal a woman gives when she wants you, but pretends not to, is the way she makes space for you in her life without admitting it. This isn't about grand gestures or obvious invitations. It's the small, almost invisible ways she prioritizes you, keeps doors open, and signals availability, all while acting like it's nothing. Most men completely overlook this because it's subtle, quiet, and wrapped in casual behavior. Think about it. She remembers things you said in passing. She sends a song or a meme that reminds her of you. She adjusts her schedule slightly to align with yours without drawing attention to it. On the surface, it looks incidental, but psychologically, it's a powerful signal. She's signaling, "You matter to me," without saying a word. She's creating emotional bridges that connect her world to yours, and most men fail to notice because they're too focused on chasing obvious attention or verbal validation. Here's the key: the space she creates isn't random. Women do not unconsciously make room in their lives for someone they're indifferent to. When she goes out of her way to align with your presence, to intersect her world with yours, it's an unconscious declaration of desire. And the genius of pretending not to care is that it keeps her protected. She's testing whether you notice, whether you value her subtle efforts, whether you can appreciate the hidden intimacy she's offering without needing explicit acknowledgement. Another layer to this hidden signal is how she communicates boundaries. She might act unavailable at times, cancel plans, or playfully resist your invitations, but all of it is framed in ways that keep you engaged. This push and pull creates psychological tension that strengthens attraction. Most men misread it as disinterest and give up. But the man who understands female psychology recognizes the pattern. She's giving, testing, and protecting simultaneously. Here's what most men fail to understand. Attraction thrives in the invisible space between action and acknowledgement. The more you recognize her subtle openings, respond with confidence and calm curiosity, and never overreact, the stronger the attraction grows. She may never say, "I want you," out loud, but her life, her choices, and her energy are already saying it. Your role is to notice it, respect it, and match it with your own measured presence. That's how desire escalates naturally. Now I want you to do something. Think about the last time she showed you one of these hidden signals. Maybe it was a glance, a subtle touch, a playful tease, or making space for you in her life. Multiply that by 3. That's the level of attention and desire she's been trying to communicate without saying it. I want you to write in the comments what signal you noticed first and how you think it connects to her hidden desire. If this video opened your eyes, don't just watch and forget. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who needs to understand the hidden language women are constantly sending. Because the truth is, most men never see it, but once you do, your entire understanding of attraction, desire, and connection changes forever.